Hello students, your topic for today is legal language. So legal language means a language used by the persons who are connected to the legal profession. The language used by the lawyer, jurist and the legislative draftsman in their professional capacities. Law being a technical subject speaks through its own register. So legal language has varies like local legal language and English. As defined by Webster in his lexicon, this term is derived from the Latin word lingio, meaning a system of communication between humans through written or vocal symbols. It is a speech peculiar to an ethnic, national, or criminal group. It is the articulate or inarticulate expression of thoughts and feelings by living creatures. It is the system of sounds and words used by human beings to express themselves. In India, legal language means a language other than in English or independent of English. A legal language is expected to be developed through the medium of regional language or Hindi. Now, nature and the scope of legal language. So legal language come across and influences different segments of the society. Some of them may be law knowing persons and others may not. The communication between the lawgiver and the men of law is one say communication. It can be found in the shape of statute. The language of the statute is most technical and legislators have very little to do with it, but drafters take care that it is communicative of the lawgiver's intention. So the communication between the judge and the counsel is the two-way as both are well versed in law. So is the case with formal communication between the two opposed counsels while addressing the judge. This short communication involves judgments and briefs. In the third instance, there is an informal consultation that takes place either between two or more judges, chamber, or between two or more counsel in counsel's office or bar room, or among men of law in jurisprudential decisions. Lastly, there is the consultation between the ordinary citizen and the counsel. The former may be ignorant of the law, therefore, the job of the latter is more difficult as he has to give legal shape and terminology to the ordinary language of the client. In Ashok K. Kelkar, language legal communication may be summarized in five types of situational context: the lawgivers to the judge and the counsel statutes, preamble to statutes, the judge to the counsel to the judge judgment, briefs, courtrooms, exchange, preamble like portion of judgment, and briefs. The judge to jury, the counsel to client, the client to counsel, the judge's brief consultations. Between ordinary citizens, contracts, testaments, bylaws, notice, and the like. Now, legal language is different from everyday's language. The differences are most obvious at the semantic level of the modes of persuasion furnished by the spoken word. There are three kinds. It depends first depends upon the personal character of the speaker. The second on putting the audience into a certain frame of mind, and the third on the proof of apparent proof provided by the words of the speech itself, and this can be achieved by reasoning logically, understanding human character and goodness in their various forms, and c understanding the liberty of the mind. The object of every sincere speech, after all, is not to arouse the passions or flatter the senses, but to convince the hearers of the truth. As a lawyer, one must have a distinctive vocabulary which uses the words from outside the general language and words which are part of the general language but which have radically different meaning in legal and general usage. The significance of language for law lies in fact that it is not merely a medium of communication but also a medium of law, or furthermore, or is not merely only medium to is the law. Thank you so much.